The manner in which an environment is created by extending the environment in which a procedure was defined, which we see in Lisp and in Python, is not the only way to do things. So dynamic scope is an alternative. The way in which names are looked up in Scheme in Python is called lexical scope or static scope. And remember the rule: the parent of a frame is the environment in which a procedure was defined. So when you create a new frame for applying a procedure, you just look at the procedure, figure out what its environment was when it was created, and use that as the parent of the new frame. Dynamic scope is different. It says that the parent of a frame is the environment in which the procedure was just called. So what's the difference? Well, let's say we define f, which is a function that takes some x and adds x and y together. And then we define some g, which is a function that takes x and y and calls f on x plus x. Doesn't use y. And then let's say we call g on 3 and 7. In lexical scope, the parent of f's frame when f is called by g is the global frame. And so, when it tries to figure out what x is, it will use its formal parameter, which is a local name. But when it tries to figure out what y is, it will fail. The dynamic scope has a different story. So the lexical scope version will give us an error, unknown identifier y, when it tries to evaluate f. But in dynamic scope, the parent for f's frame is g's frame. Why? Well, we were in the middle of evaluating g when we called f. And so in dynamic scope, it matters who called you, not where you were defined. This was defined globally, but called inside the body of a local function. At which point, f's frame will extend g's frame, and when we go to look up y, we'll find g's y, which is bound to 7. So we'll pass in 3 plus 3 is 6, y will be bound to 7, and we'll get 13.